Have you ever been in a relationship where you wanted to go deeper? You wanted to have longer, more profound conversations. You wanted to tell stories. You wanted to tell jokes. You wanted to be able to defend yourself and share your thoughts. But because of your speech, you didn't. My name is Michael Williams, Pro90D founder and speech coach. And today, we're going to be looking at how when you improve your speech, you improve your entire life. In today's session, though, we'll specifically be looking at, and this is the fourth part of this series, we'll specifically be looking at how when you improve your speech, you also improve your relationships. When you improve your speech, you improve your relationships, and therefore you improve your entire life. So the question is, how is it when you improve your speech, you improve your relationships? How does that work? Why is that true? Well, when you improve your speech, you are now more able and capable of clearly, honestly, openly articulating your thoughts, right? Let me say that again. When you improve your speech, your ability to communicate verbally, you're now able and you're more capable of clearly and openly and honestly sharing or articulating your thoughts and your feelings. So what happens is you're now more willing to do so. You want to talk with your family and friends and your loved ones. And so we're not just talking about our intimate relationships, but we're also talking about our social relationships. So there are two kinds of relationships we're talking about here. Intimate, right? And also social. And we're saying that when you improve your speech, you almost certainly will improve your intimate relationships, your husband, your wife, your brother, sister, your mother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You're able and you're more willing, like you want to talk with them. You want to have deeper conversations. If there's something that's not quite going the way you'd like it, you're able to communicate with them and share with them and often defend your position or explain your position. For several years, I used to be a relationship coach, and so I know exactly how important, and so do you, how important communication is. So imagine if you've been struggling with your speech, then you're less able and you're less willing, less likely to share how you're feeling about something, or to say, hey, when this happens, or when you do this, this is how I feel, right? You're less willing and even able to do that. And so you struggle, and so you don't have the quality of relationships that you'd like to have. What about your social and even your professional relationships? Well, when you're able and you're more willing to share your thoughts, then you can go out and you can feel relaxed. And you don't have to worry about your speech, and you can participate in conversations. You can tell jokes. You can tell stories. You can respond to stuff. You can have deeper conversations with your friends and your colleagues. When you improve your speech, and we talked about this before, you're also able to improve the quality of your relationships professionally. So the people at work can get to know you. They don't think that you're shy. They don't think that you're afraid to speak up. They can have conversations with you, deeper conversations, more conversations, longer conversations. They get to know you. They get to like you. They get to trust you. So when you improve your speech, you improve your relationships, right? You improve your relationships. So let's take a look at some actual examples of how this can work for you. So here's Adam. And Adam said, I can speak calmly and concisely to friends and family without the annoyance that my speech is restricting me. So imagine just feeling all the time like you can't really say what you want to say when you want to say it because you're pushing out words, or you're anticipating, or you're substituting, or you're just simply not talking at all, not saying what you want to say. But imagine being free of that and being able to say what you want to say. Wow, imagine the kinds of conversations and therefore the relationships that you can have with people that you know and love, all right? I can connect deeper with my partner and family as I'm able to share my ideas and thoughts, right? So this is a gentleman that I was working with. I'm still working with. We're about at the tail end now. And he told me, wow, my relationships are so much better. My conversations with my parents, with my partners, so much better now. He said, you just wouldn't believe how much this has changed my entire life because my relationships are better now. I feel freer. I can speak. I can say, and my partner and my family and everything has told me about it. This is the gentleman whose brother went through my program 2 or 3 years ago and referred his brother who also struggled with his speech. And now their relationships are better, both intimate, social, and professional. All their relationships are better because they improved their speech. I'm able to communicate with my family the way I want to, instead of having to hold back because of my speech. How many of you have experienced that, where you're holding back, you're not saying the things that you want, you're not speaking up because of your speech? But now that you have improved speech, you don't have to hold back. You can participate, you can communicate, you can say the things that you want to say. Okay. And then finally, I speak more frequently and more in depth with my mother, which makes the whole system worth the investment and effort. So now this guy, in fact, I remember when he told me, now I'm talking with my mom more often and I'm having deeper conversations with her. And I think I mentioned that in a video that I did a few months ago, but that really blew me away. And I can understand that because when my mother was alive, I was able to have better conversations with her because growing up, man, I used to really, really struggle, especially with my mom. And I also struggled to speak with my sister. And it wasn't until, I was in my 30s or 40s or something that I figured out what was going on there. So every time I would talk with my sister, we would be able to have pretty good conversations, but I was still struggling. And this was after I became a speech coach. I was just struggling with my sister. And part of the reason is because of my old identity, my memories of how I spoke and how I was to act and communicate with my sister. So finally, and this is exactly what I tell my clients now, with parents, with old friends and so forth, you have a self-concept, you have an identity of how you are to communicate and interact and relate with certain people in your life and in certain places and during certain times. And so what you have to do is kind of bring those identities together in a sense. And so I simply had to say to myself, speak with your sister the same way you speak with everyone else. It's going to feel strange. In fact, the way it felt to me is like, oh, you're trying to speak professionally with your sister, right? You're speaking professionally, which felt weird. It felt weird. I was like, and I don't know if it felt weird to her, but it definitely felt weird to me. And what I've found over the years and years and years that I've been coaching is sometimes it will feel weird to that person when you start speaking with them the same way you speak with other people, because they're not used to, their self-concept, their identity isn't used to relating with you in that way. So when you start speaking differently, it may make them feel a little weird. They may say something to you about it. Could be positive or negative. I have, on a few occasions, had family members say, is there something wrong with you? Why are you speaking like that? Don't speak like that. Speak the way that you used to speak. That's because they are more comfortable with the way that you used to speak. They're more comfortable with the way that you used to relate to them. So keep this in mind. There will be some people who will initially reject your new speaking style, who may criticize you because of it. Some of your family, some of your friends. That can be quite normal, and just realize that that possibility is there. But most of the time, family and friends will compliment you and they'll say, wow, I really see a difference. And they'll enjoy the deeper conversations and the longer conversations. And they'll applaud you and they'll begin to say, wow, and I see a real difference in the way that you're speaking and the way that you're communicating. I'm really proud of you. And so you'll often get support for that. But remember, initially, it's probably going to feel weird. And that's just our brain's way of creating those new neuronal connections, right? Building kind of a new habit a new way of relating with that old person. And when I say that old person, in an old relationship, one that you've had for a while, you're now creating a new way of relating to them with your new ability to speak well. And so it feels uncomfortable. It requires effort. It requires conscious effort for a while, not forever. So keep that in mind, that as you are improving your speech and therefore improving your relationships, you may feel a little off at first communicating with certain people in certain ways. In fact, you may find that it's very easy for you to slip back and communicate with them the way you used to. Whereas in certain other situations, maybe in more professional situations at work or with newer friends, you find that you're communicating well. And you're like, well, what's going on here? Why is it when I communicate with my mom, with my sister, with my spouse, or with someone that I've known for a while, why am I struggling? Well, it's normal. What you have to do is be a little bit more conscious when you're speaking with them so that you can consciously activate and continuously activate this new speaking style. This is one of the struggles that many of my clients have experienced, and you probably will too, but there's a way through it, right? So it didn't take me very long before I was able to start communicating with my sister the same way I communicate with everyone. So now, no struggles at all. So just remember that when you improve your speech, you improve your relationships, and you improve the quality of your entire life. Now, if you're watching this video and you're ready to improve your relationships and the rest of your life, then you have two ways that you can do it. These are two ways where you're going to get your greatest return on investment. One way is to do the self-study. So for some of you, the coaching is not going to be the best step and option for you right now. Maybe it's because of finances, or maybe you're just not ready for the commitment. But for those of you that want to speed up the process, you want to accelerate the process, you've been watching my videos and watching other videos and tinkering here and there and improving and then sliding back, improving and sliding back. And you need greater accountability. You need greater evaluation and feedback. You need to be encouraged, right? As I say, you need to be in a container where you can develop these skills and you can move forward more rapidly. If that's what you're looking for, then you're going to want to work with us one-on-one. And so in or around this video, you'll see a link. You click the link. It'll take you right to the pricing, and you can scroll up or down to get more information. All the information you need is right there on that page. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you won't need to necessarily meet with me. You know that this is the right thing for you. Go ahead and enroll right now. Why? Because at the recording of these videos, we have a $500 discount. Now, if you're watching this a year later, then that discount may not be available. However, if you're watching this now, then you're going to want to capture that best pricing now, because it's not going to be around forever, okay? So go ahead and enroll, even if you're not ready to start now. Maybe you're ready to start in a few weeks or a month or a couple of months or a few months. That's okay. Enroll now. We'll save you a place. Some of you are ready to start now. Enroll now, save money. And as soon as you enroll, you'll get immediate access to the course, and you'll be connected with me through Slack, right? Little messenger system, and we'll be in touch with you, and we'll arrange our schedules, and we'll get started, okay? Taking your speech to that next level, improving your speech, improving your income, improving your mindset, your mental state, improving your professional life, improving your relationships. And then we have a few more that we'll talk about in other sessions. So now is the time. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more set in our ways we get, the more we start arranging our life around our speech, right? The more opportunities we lose out on. When you invest in your speech, in fact, one of the best and greatest investments you could ever make is into yourself, right? Into yourself. And in this case, into your speech. When you invest in your speech, your return is, and often is and can be, financial, right? So you can get that money back with your next job, with your next promotion. You can get that money back and a whole lot more, right? But you also will feel better about yourself. You'll be able to think more clearly. You'll feel more relaxed. You'll feel more confident. You'll have better relationships. You'll have a better professional life. So your entire life will improve when you invest in yourself. And so you'll get a positive return on that investment. You invest the time, the energy, and the money in your speech into a system that's been around for more than a decade, right? You invest your time, your energy, and your money into that, and the return that you get, you almost can't put a price on it, okay? We have too many people who've gone through this process and who've done the work, and the investment that they've, and the return that they've gotten back, you can't really put a price on. So thank you so much for watching this. My name is Michael Williams. Look forward to seeing you in the next session, and look forward to seeing you and working with you privately or in our self-study. We'll talk with you soon.